The community center's party room was filled with laughter and the sticky, sweet scent of vanilla frosting. My daughter Emma sat next me, her feeding tube securely hidden behind her purple frock. She was 5 years old, and today was her cousin Tyler's 7th birthday celebration. "Auntie Sarah, watch me," Tyler exclaimed, doing an extravagant dancing motion that almost knocked over the punch bowl. My sister Jennifer grabbed it barely in time and laughed. Emma slapped her little fists together, her eyes full of delight. She enjoyed attending family events and spending time with her relatives. She'd had the feeding tube since she was 2 years old, a medical gadget that kept her fed when her digestive issue prevented her from eating. Her physicians at Children's Hospital had repeatedly described the situation to our family. "All right, everyone, cake time," Jennifer called out, wheeling in a big superhero-themed cake. Emma's face lightened up. She couldn't eat the cake, but she enjoyed the whole event. Candles, singing, and celebration. My mother arrived alongside Jennifer, brandishing the cake knife with the authority she usually exudes at family gatherings. She hardly recognized us when we arrived, giving Emma a firm pat on the head before shifting her focus to Tyler. Mom said, "Everyone gather round." Emma and the other youngsters surged forward. She stood gingerly at the outside of the throng, aware of her tube but wanting to join in the singing. We all started saying, "Happy birthday to you." Tyler's features shone in the candlelight. He made a wish and extinguished all 7 candles in one breath. The room exploded with applause. Cake time. Jennifer began cutting big chunks. My mother handled the distribution as she usually did. She presented plates to Tyler first, then to my brother David's children, and last to Jennifer's other children. Emma stood patiently, her hands interlocked in front of her. She knew she couldn't eat it, but we always brought a piece home and I described it to her in great detail. It was our custom. Mom went through the throng, passing out dishes with a dramatic flourish. She presented one each to my father, David, and Jennifer's husband, Mark. Emma waited. Mom served pieces to the grown-ups, distant relatives, and even Jennifer's neighbor who had popped over. "Grandma," Emma said faintly, hardly heard over the noise. My mother's gaze focused on her. Something chilly flashed over her face. "Look who is faking to be ill again." The words pierced through the cacophony like a knife. The room didn't get completely quiet, but talk slowed. Heads turned. Emma's face crumpled with uncertainty. "I'm not pretending, Grandma." "Oh," the doctor remarked, Mom imitated in a high-pitched tone, always with drama, always wanting to be the center of attention. My gut turned like ice. I began to rise, but Emma touched my arm. "It's all right, Mama," she whispered. "It wasn't fine." Jennifer laughed uncomfortably. "Mom, come on, let's have a lovely party. I'm having a lovely party," Mom said. A celebration for youngsters who truly like eating, not attention seekers who reject everything presented to them. She held up the cake slice she just cut, which I presumed was for Emma, and made a show of returning it to the serving dish. "There's no cake for attention seekers," she declared, her sneer aimed directly at my kid. David's wife, Laura, moved uneasily. "That sounds a little harsh, don't you think?" "Harsh?" Mom turned on her. "Do you know what is harsh? Having a grandchild who refuses to eat regular foods, who tailors every dish to her unique requirements, who makes every family gathering into a medical emergency." Emma's bottom lip quivered. She was 5 years old, sitting at her cousin's birthday celebration, being publicly humiliated by her grandma. I replied slowly, trying to keep my voice calm. "She has a diagnosed medical condition. The feeding tube isn't an option. Sarah, everything is a decision." Mom addressed the room as if she were delivering a speech. "In my day, youngsters ate whatever they were fed. They did not have tubes, special formulae, or frequent medical visits. They just ate." Mom and Jennifer tried again. "Perhaps we should." "Should what?" "Cuddle her. Pretend this is normal." She pointed to Emma's feeding tube. "It is not typical. It is attention-seeking behavior, and I will not reward it. The other youngsters had stopped eating their cakes. They gazed at Emma and at me, unsure. Tyler, the nice 7-year-old Tyler, pushed his plate towards Emma. "She can take mine, Grandma." "No." Mom's hand reached out and pulled the dish back. "She won't. This is my grandson's birthday, and we're not going to let her spoil it with her drama." That was the exact second that something inside me changed and settled into cold, total clarity. I rose carefully, grabbing Emma's little jacket and a special bag containing her feeding supplies. "What are you doing now?" Mom demanded. "Leaving." I kept my voice low and calm. I wouldn't let her have the pleasure of seeing me furious. "Oh, of course. Run away. That's what you do whenever someone gives you the truth." I helped Emma get into her jacket. She was weeping now, with silent tears flowing down her cheeks. "Sarah, maybe you should simply remain," Jennifer said weakly. "For Tyler's sake. For Tyler's sake." I glanced at my sister. "You just saw your mother tell your niece that she is faking a terrible medical problem. You saw her refuse a 5-year-old kid basic courtesy at a party. And you want me to remain for the cake?" Jennifer glanced away. David said nothing. He never did. My father, seated in the corner with his second piece of cake, did not look up. "Fine, leave." Mother crossed her arms. "However, don't come crawling back when you realize how fortunate you are. This family has been more than generous to you." I wanted to laugh. Generous. As I scooped up Emma and made my way to the door, the phrase rang in my mind. In the parking lot, I strapped Emma into her car seat. She hiccuped, attempting to stop weeping. "Mama, why doesn't Grandma like me?" "Oh, sweetie," I smoothed her hair. "This is not about you. This is about Grandma not comprehending anything, and that is her issue, not yours." But she claimed I'm just pretending. "You're not acting. You have a medical problem and your feeding tube keeps you healthy and strong. Grandma is incorrect." We drove home silently. Emma fell asleep halfway there, weary from sobbing. That night, after I had tucked her into bed and sat in the dark living room, I took out my phone. First call. "Daniel Martinez is the manager of the Riverside Community Center." "Daniel, this is Sarah Peterson. I need to terminate an ongoing rental reservation." "Oh," he sounded astonished. "Which one?" "The third Saturday of each month. The party room. It has been invoiced to my account for the last 3 years." Silence. "Then, Sarah, that's the booking." "Wait, you're paying for those?" "I believed it was registered to Margaret Peterson." "It is registered to her. However, verify your billing records. The card on file is mine." I could hear him type. "Oh my God, you're correct. Every month for 36 months. Total cost, $4,320. Yes. Does Margaret know?" "No, and I'd want the reservation canceled immediately. If she phones to reserve the accommodation again, she will have to supply her own payment information." "Understood. Sarah, I am sorry for whatever occurred." "Thank you, Danielle." Patricia Chen from First National Bank makes the second call. "Patricia, this is Sarah Peterson. I want to stop an automatic payment." "Of course, which one?" "The mortgage payment for 47 Maple Street. It has been flowing from my account for the last 5 years." Another lapse in stillness. "Sarah, it is your mother's property, I am aware, and I have been paying the payments, all of them." "I would want that to cease immediately." "Are you certain?" "This will indicate that I am extremely certain." "Cancel the automatic payments. If Margaret Peterson wishes to continue paying mortgage payments, she will need to make her own agreement with the bank. This will be handled tomorrow a.m. Perfect." I hung up and sat in the darkness, feeling nothing. No satisfaction. There is no anger, just a cold, unwavering assurance that I had taken the proper decision. The calls began around 8:30 the following morning. First, Jennifer. "Sarah, what have you done?" "Mom just received a call from the community center stating her reservation has been canceled, and she has to pay $300 to rebook it. I revoked the payment authorization." "What's your payment?" What exactly are you talking about? I have been paying for that party space for 3 years, Jennifer. Each month, every family birthday and celebration. I was glad to do it since I believed I was contributing to family harmony. I'm not going to pay for Emma's humiliation anymore. Sarah, that is ridiculous. Mom would never. Mom didn't realize I was paying. She assumed the community center just offered her a favorable rate. But it was me. The whole time. Jennifer became silent. Next call, David. This has to be fixed. Mom is freaking out. What should be fixed? Whatever you did. She's contacting everyone, yelling about the community center and the bank. So what did you do with the bank? I stopped paying her mortgage. You what? I've been paying her mortgage for 5 years, David. $2,300 each month. I am done. That is absurd. Why would you do that? Because she was about to lose her home 5 years ago. She came to me weeping, explaining that she couldn't make the payments following Dad's hospital expenditures. I volunteered to assist briefly. It never became transitory. It became permanent. She didn't know. She's about to lose her home. Then she will have to find out how to make the payments herself. Perhaps you might assist her, or Jennifer. I'm confident the 3 of you can handle $2,300 per month. He hung up. Mom phoned at noon. I let it go to voicemail. How dare you? How could you destroy this family? You believe you're exceptional because of your ill kid and martyr routine. So guess what? We don't need you. We have never needed you. And we don't need your money. I erased the message. The second voicemail arrived an hour later. Her voice sounded strange. Smaller. Sarah, please call back. We need to discuss this matter. I'm certain we can figure something out. Third voicemail of the evening. Please, I didn't realize you were paying for such items. If I had known, I would have been more appreciative. Please call me back. I did not call back. Jennifer came up at my door 2 days later. She's sorry, Jennifer said without hesitation. Is she? The bank informed her that she had 30 days to resume making payments or they would initiate foreclosure procedures. She is in a panic. She has 30 days to work this out. That was more time than I had to find out how to pay her bills and support Emma's medical needs. What are your medical expenses? Sarah, Mom didn't know. Didn't know what? Does Emma's care cost money? That I work 2 jobs to cover what my insurance does not cover. That I've been financially supporting Mom for the last 5 years while she tells everyone how much of a burden my kid is. Jennifer gazed at the floor. What do you want? An apology. I want Emma to be treated with fundamental human dignity. I want Mom to admit she was nasty to a 5-year-old kid. I want her to know that physical issues are not character faults. She is elderly. She is from a different generation. She is 68, not 90. And being older does not give her the right to harm my kid. Jennifer went without saying anything else. The mortgage payment bounced. The bank phoned my mother. She phoned me 17 times in one day. I banned her phone number. She showed up at my workplace. Security escorted her out. Finally, 3 weeks after the birthday celebration, she showed up at my place knowing I'd be home. She seemed smaller somehow, tired. I'm sorry, she said. I waited. I was mistaken. About Emma, regarding what I stated. You informed a 5-year-old that she was faking a significant medical issue. You denied her cake in front of the whole family as punishment for being unwell. I understand. Do you really comprehend what you did? Mom's eyes flooded with tears. I assumed they were real. I was jealous. Jealous of the focus. Everyone is continuously inquiring about Emma, discussing her therapies and development. I felt invisible. I felt as if I no longer mattered. She wiped her eyes. This is not an excuse. It's just the truth. I pondered her remarks. You may have spoken to me. Instead, you harmed my kid. I understand. I apologize to both of you. I need to hear you say that to Emma. I will. I will apologize to her appropriately. You'll also learn about her condition. She will learn, speak to her physicians, understand what she is going through. Yes. Whatever it takes. The mortgage, she flinched. I acquired a part-time job, and David is assisting. I can handle it now. Good, you come back regarding family matters. I gazed at her for a long time, maybe, eventually, when Emma feels secure in your presence again. I believe you won't injure her. That is reasonable. She departed. I shut the door and leaned against it. Emma emerged from her room where she had been playing. Was it Grandma? Yes. Is she apologizing? She claims she is. Emma saw this with the serious insight of a 5-year-old who had already discovered that grown-ups could be harsh. Hey, but I still don't want to attend any more birthday celebrations for a long. That's absolutely okay, dear. She embraced my legs, then returned to her toys. I stood there reflecting about choices and repercussions, the power of walking away, and the complex arithmetic of family, love, money, and limits. The mortgage payment remained canceled. The community center reservation remained canceled. Mom apologized to Emma finally. She did speak to the physicians. He tried. Whether it was sufficient remained to be seen. But Emma was unharmed. And I had learnt something significant. Sometimes the most effective thing you can do is to quit offering what is taken for granted. Sometimes you just make 2 calls and wait.